My story as a teacher on the front line. I've been a teacher for over 12 years now and I love my job. I work in a Richmond community school and I'm responsible for religious education across the different year groups as well as having my own class. It's a thrill to see children make progress and learn how to do new things. In my year group of reception, I also have the privilege of starting the children on their journey of reading, and that's extra special. I love the community feel of the school life and I like the structure. We're like a big family made up of children, parents and staff, and I really enjoy the myriad of interactions I have with them. A voluntary role I have in school is union rep for the teachers and some support staff. And it's my job to work with the senior leaders in helping to make the school as safe as possible for both staff and children, and to raise concerns as they arise. Wisdom and knowledge is needed to make good decisions. Teaching is a challenging job normally, and like other professions, the virus has made a huge impact on the way we work. This second lockdown has been even more challenging than the first. Workload has increased hugely, so please pray for all teachers as they grapple with the new ways of working. The government was very late in making the decision to keep the schools closed. We literally had one day to prepare for the start of online learning. Personally, I don't find all the technology easy, and that side of things has been a really steep learning curve for me. So please pray that I can assimilate this new knowledge and get a bit better at it. Please pray too for families who may be struggling to use the technology, struggling to work from home whilst trying to homeschool their children as well, and parents who are struggling to get their children to engage at all with online learning. Part of the joy of teaching is the interactions, the spontaneous interactions that you have with children, which is so much more difficult at a distance on a Zoom call. And the children are obviously unsettled as well because of the changes and not being able to see their friends. And they can feel the tension and anxiety in their own families. A teacher's role is wider than just teaching lessons. We're advocates for children who need specialist help from other professionals. We need to be good listeners too, to understand the needs of children with complex family situations. Some children are missing out through not being at school at the moment because they aren't able to access the specialist help they need, and I worry for them. I try to hold on to the thought that doing my best is good enough, but it's hard. Parents too worry that they're not good enough and their children's education will suffer. Please pray for them. I felt very unsettled returning to work this time because of the huge changes and challenges ahead, and I'm still fearful of catching the virus and passing it on to my parents, for whom I help to care. Please pray for protection for me and my elderly parents. I thank God that we have the vaccine and that they've both now had their first one. So how does being a Christian make a difference to me in my different roles? Well, I still feel fear, but I have someone to go to with it. I don't always do it straight away and spend time worrying, but eventually I remember to talk to God about it and remember his promises. The Bible is such a precious resource. For me, there are special verses which come to mind in different situations that I have experienced in my life, and I've found great comfort in these. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:6-7 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. If I need strength, he gives me strength when I ask him. If I need peace, he gives me peace when I focus on him. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed with trying to do my job, run my home and look after my parents, I sometimes cry out to God for some space or some time. Always he is there, quietly, like the still small voice. And when I take the time to stop and listen, I can hear him saying, just stop, stop, lay everything down and rest in me. And often that is just what I need to do, just stop. Knowing Jesus is walking alongside me gives me strength to face the day, and I pray on the way to school that he will make my path straight. That doesn't mean my day will be without challenges, but that I will have the strength to face them and deal with them. I'm a planner by nature, and looking too far ahead at the moment can cause me anxiety. So I'm trying to live one day at a time and trying not to worry about what lies ahead, because I know that whatever happens, God is in control. And as it says in Romans 8:28, we know that in all things God works for the good for those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. So please pray that I will continue to learn to let go of my worries and anxieties about my school family and my own family, and instead let God fill me with his peace instead, knowing that he is in control.